Where's Waldo? KBP is the best and a big winner. Robot on duty? That was a long pause, but maybe I know why now? Nope, I thought maybe it was the popped out chat windows. But alas, more fails. Robot running on a potato PC? Oops, black screen. That one was faster. WTF, man. How about this one? No idea. I'm going to leave the popped out windows closed. And wait to see if robot works all stream. Also shoving pasta in my face. Old lady was slow with dinner tonight. Marinara face stream or cancelled. Alfredo actually. I said what I said. Go get some.
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and that's the Stream Jedi. I'm here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing tonight? I think I don't need this light on. Do I need this light on? I don't. Yeah. Let's unplug it so it's not turning red. Okay. I don't think I like that light either. So we're going to put it back on. Streaming's hard, okay? Shut up. Because you got to do the wires, you got to get the lights right. And when you have light, it's too much. And when you don't have enough, it's not enough. Anyway, hi. How's it going? I suck. I'm terrible at this, and I'm the worst streamer you've ever seen. So there's something to that. I'm here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing? I think maybe Bowser quit his job. Maybe Bowser. Well, he's holding the wire. It's not the wire. It's not Bowser that's not doing his job. Gay Bowser is here holding the wire as he should and as he usually does. But it's the light that I don't care about so much. It's too bright, but without it, it's too dark, and it can't go any lower. I need a better setup. I know. I'm sorry. I suck. Maybe if I turn the yellow lights down a little bit. Let's put those on a quarter. How's that look? They're already on a quarter. Oh, I can make them brighter. I can make them much brighter. I can make them full black. Blare. Yeah. That's too much. That's too much of me. I don't think anybody wants that much of me. And that's a little bit too blue. That's a pretty good color right there. I think that's a good one. It's just bright right here. God, it's so bright. I'm bad at this job, and everybody knows it, and that's why I don't take it too seriously. Maybe we fixed TTS. Maybe the problem with the TTS robot has always been the pop-out windows. Pop-out windows. No? Shit. I thought perhaps that would be the catalyst for it.
Pop-out windows.
So it's slow, but it's not as slow as it was with the pop-out windows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the chat here. I'm going to put Twitch chat, pop-out chat right there, and then I'm going to do the kick chat, and I'm going to hit the pop-out chat, pow. And what I'm going to do is because what I usually do is I have these three windows on this side, so that when I look at chat, I see it. There's one for Kick, there's one for Twitch, there's one for YouTube, so I know where you're coming from and who you are, honestly, because KVP is the only one who chats on Kick, except for Tony. And so I thought maybe this is what's slowing down the TTS thing. I can't think of anything else. Robot is a fickle bitch, it's true. And now it's in the popped out window. We wait, and we wait, and we wait, and it seems to take longer.
Robots as fickle bitches.
But not that long. I'm not sure. It's a little bit longer than the other one, but maybe it's just exactly the same. I don't know why TTS sucks. I just know that it does. I would like it to work. I would want it to work. I try and get it to work. I spend hours a week, every week, just trying to get TTS to work, and it doesn't like me. Doesn't function, or it does function, and it seems great for like the first 5 minutes of stream, and then it clogs up and it quits, and then the service fails, and it's a bad time. But maybe if we leave it closed, we're going to close these pop-out windows back to where they were. I can't see the chats. That's what is killing me. I'll just look at the screen. Yeah, I'm looking at the screen right now. I see what's in chat right there, but I don't see it off to the side. That's dangerous for me. That's weird. I don't like that. I don't like it. I got used to having 3 little windows right here that I could look at anytime I wanted to. All right. Well, anyhow, what's in the news? I'm sure it's fine and not terrible and not nightmarish and not causing severe harm to the American people. But you never know. Maybe it is. Free chat, no rules. I moved the camera down a little bit, or up a little bit. It was on my screen, and every time I touched the desk, it would shake, and that was irritating me. So I moved it below the thing. Now it's hanging down, and it's slightly off. I think it's too far to this side. Honestly, you're getting a lot more of the area over here than you did last time. Let's see if I can. Oh no, that's the wrong way. And
Hey, free chat, no rules.
God, no, I can't do any of this before a stream. No, 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 no. That would be boring. That would be lame. There's a puppy dog here to see me. How do you guys like to see a puppy dog? It's Bobo. Hi, Bobo. How are you? He had a bone, and he's looking for the bone. He's like, hey, dummy, I had a bone down there, and I was having a good time with it before you interrupted me and dragged me up here. You're famous on the internet, Bobo. Did you know that? I don't think he cares. All right. Look, a bone. Delicious, delicious rawhide bone. Go get it. Anyway, that's Bobo. He is a bark boy, and he might bark anytime he wants.
Bork break.
Bork break, yeah. Eventually, you will love Bobo. Yeah, someday. Eventually. The TTS robot lady will catch up with your love and adoration, but not yet. You must wait. I just finished dinner, too, so I'm still burping and clearing my throat. And cleaning my face and checking my teeth into the camera. That's good stream content, right? Clean your teeth right into the camera. Yeah. This is why I'm the worst streamer, honestly. If maybe that could. Wasn't there somebody who made like YouTube videos where he really did really 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 bad coding, but then he wrote code so badly. But it wasn't just slop random.
We loved you, Bobo.
Yeah, thank you.
A few minutes ago.
But yeah, he did it so badly because he understood how to do it badly. He was a master. So I'm a master at streaming. I just simply choose to do a really, really bad job. Let's go with that. Let's tell people that. Let's spread the tale that I'm actually brilliant and a master of streams, but choose because it's funny for the lulz to do a bad job. I could live with that. That'd be all right with me. Anyway, what's in the news today? Well, that's what we're here for, right? That's why we're here. Let's press the buttons. Where is that button? Game capture off. Window capture on. Then we drop down. Do this one. Well, I'm thankful for the stream regardless. Okay, well, thank you, KBP. I appreciate that. You did win all the points, so that was pretty impressive. So it was good news tonight. KBP won the jackpot on the slots. If you missed it, you missed it. Okay, it's gone. I mean, it's available on the internet anytime you want. But 10 minutes ago, he did the slot machine and he won the jackpot, and it was amazing. And we all cried, and there were cheers and high fives. And a man stood up and gave a speech, and that man's name was Einstein. Anyway, what are we doing? I've gone off the rails here. We're just getting started. We're 5 minutes into the damn stream, and I'm already off the rails. Okay. Trump's defense secretary thinks Marxists are our enemies. So that's me. He's talking about me. So I'm apparently the enemy of the guy who's going to be in charge of the DOD. That's going to be fun. I'm sure that won't bite me in the ass ever. In his book published this summer, The War on Warriors, Pete Hegseth Donald Trump's pick for Secretary of Defense described being called up to active duty to guard the streets of Washington, D.C. during Black Lives Matter protests that followed the police killing of George Floyd. He acknowledged protesters' First Amendment rights. Hand wave. He's like, yeah, they have First Amendment rights, but not like this. But also see that the violent professional agitators and armies of armed and violent left-wing extremists. Who's professional? How do you get that job? Who's out here being a violent professional agitators? The professional suggests that they're paid for it. Is this some of that George Soros bullshit? Or are you making shit up? He said behaved like 21st century hoplites, unironically using the word hoplite. It's how much of a nerd he is. Referring to a term for well-armed citizens, soldiers in Greece. In a recurring theme for the man who might soon lead history's most powerful military, he fantasized about treating Americans like overseas combatants. Most of us National Guard soldiers wanted to fight back. Well, hang on, I got to put on my tough guy voice. Most of us National Guard soldiers wanted to fight back. Within 10 minutes, I became one of them. As your muscles ache and your eyes fill with sweat and dust, you begin to seek closure. With a sense of resolve, we could easily have pushed this line back, snatched their leaders or the loudest protesters in Antifa, and sucked them back behind the lines. If this engagement were to occur in Damara or Kandahar, we would have been home by breakfast. He's sad that he didn't get to snatch up and black bag people who were peaceful protesters in America. He wanted to snatch up the American protesters because they don't have the right to do that, according to him. He doesn't understand what the First Amendment is. He doesn't understand protesting. He doesn't understand freedom, as usual. With most conservatives, this is the issue. Hegseth, the Prince, and blah, 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 skipping that. In his book, The War on Warriors, Hegseth painted the military as a civilizing force for America's young men. Who knows what the untrained and unconstrained world would have made of these alpha males. But the military made great warriors and now great citizens. They're masculine football-playing studs who served their country. Jesus Christ. But he was also explicit that the military, and therefore America, is under attack from left-wing ideologies and that the military should fight back against the woke tide just as it would a foreign enemy. America, he said, is in a cold civil war and under attack by the Confederacy of radicals. In the book, he dedicated considerable time railing against modern laws of war and called it the United States to rewrite them to fight by its own rules. Don't have rules in war. Do whatever you want. Kill anybody you like. Who cares? Yeah, he's such a patriot. I know, right? Let's see. After HuffPost reached out to the Trump Vance transition team, blah, 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 blah. Skip to the good parts. On its surface, the book answers the question, how did the military allow itself to go woke? According to Hegseth, the existence of women in combat roles and the presence of transgender people in the military, the requirement that soldiers take experimental COVID-19 vaccines, his perception of affirmative action, and military promotions. So, yeah, if you refused to take the life-saving vaccine because you're an idiot, they kicked you out. He called this affirmative action and military promotions. No, he didn't call that. No, I'm messed up here. If you refused that COVID-19 vaccine, you were kicked out because you're an idiot who can't follow orders and doesn't know what's good for you. And you are, I'm on board. I know this is going to be a controversial sentence, but if you're in the military and you refused the COVID-19 vaccine after it was proven safe, and it was, guess what? It was proven safe. You should be removed, because the only reason you would deny that is that you are a conspiracy-brained dipshit. That's why. Conspiracy-brained dipshits are dangerous, especially if you give them access to the United States military. This guy is a conspiracy-brained dipshit. That's why he's dangerous. That's why I don't want him to be in charge, and that's why I would criticize Trump for picking him. He's a conspiracy-brained dipshit. Please stop picking the worst people. Donnie, please, Donnie, listen. Please stop picking the worst people. I like my country, and I would like it to function, you know? You don't have to... Why do you got to ruin it? But someone on his Facebook said it was bad and it would delete my immune system. Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm popping this this chat out. I can't handle it. I can't look all the way over there to see Shinsento's bangers, you know? I'm popping chat out. Okay, here we go. It's just in the wrong place, you know? I can't see it. Where do we leave off? Yeah, the renaming of military bases named after Confederate generals, well, that's also a part of woke, apparently, and the military's effort to root out violent extremism, an effort that affected him at one point, all flow from the same source. You guessed it, it's the Marxists in academia, obviously. The Marxists in academia are the ones that are wokeifying the military. That just makes sense. If you don't think about it, it does make a lot of sense. Hellbent on shoving DEI and CRT, diversity, equity, and inclusion, the critical race theory, respectively, down everyone's throats, along with an unholy alliance of political ideologies and Pentagon pussies that have left our warriors without real defenders in Washington. The effects are obvious, according to his book. When I think about my career in uniform, it's almost every instance where there has been poor leadership or people in positions they're not qualified for. It was based on either the reality or the perception of a diversity hire. On the other hand, he claimed that woke military bureaucrats said Trump supporters are extremists, full stop. They kind of are. He also linked the supposed push towards progressivism in the military to recruiting troubles. That's why they can't get people, because they're too woke, you see. For the past 3 years, the Pentagon, across all branches, has embraced the social justice message of equality, gender equality, racial diversity, climate stupidity, vaccine worship, and the LGBTQA plus alphabet soup in their recruiting pushes. Only one problem: there aren't enough transes from Brooklyn or lesbians from San Francisco who want to join the 82nd Airborne. So he uses the slur there, but I tried to dodge it. This is the problem when you start quoting Pete Hegseth, is he'll throw a few slurs in there at you. You gotta be careful. You gotta stay on your toes. Hegseth's view that woke ideology was specifically weakening the military, the American overall, and America overall, is the generic Republican Party position of 2024. Blah blah blah. Elsewhere in the book, Hegseth described fighting a war on two fronts against radical Islamist ideology abroad and left-wing domestic enemies at home. I would be one of those left-wing enemies. Pete, I'm sorry. I don't know why you got it out for me, but I want what's best for the country. And I don't think it's you, because of the things that you have said and written and talked about. Pete, meritocracy speaking, you don't deserve this job. You're not good enough. And I have judged you, not on your equity or your inclusion or the color of your skin, but by your actions. This is exactly the point. That's the whole thing. That's the whole idea. Judge a person by their actions. And I have looked at your actions, and I don't want you to be in charge of the United States military. That's where I'm at. This isn't about you or your ideology. But though it is about your ideology. I mean, your ideology led you to do the stupid actions that you're doing here, like writing this book. Just like an enemy at war, the radical left never stops moving and planning. They do not respect ceasefires. They do not abide by the rules of warfare, and they do not respect anything except total defeat of their enemy and then total control. Does that fucking sound like any motherfucking leftist you've ever fucking talked to? Have you ever been on the internet, Pete? I don't think you have. They don't respect ceasefires? Are they shooting at you? Is this metaphorical? They don't respect metaphorical ceasefires. They don't abide by the rules of warfare. They haven't been in a war with you. Do you think that there are leftists running around the country shooting at people and do not respect anything except total defeat of their enemy? What are you talking about? You're out of your goddamn mind. In the book, he proposed a frontal assault to reclaim the military from the left, and he's quite explicit when it isn't a political difference of opinion. In the military, the expectation is that we will defend the Constitution against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, not political opponents, but real enemies. Yes, Marxists are our enemies. So I know you should know. You're right. The leftists in his head are more dangerous than in reality. Are they in the room with you right now, Pete? Are they behind you? Can you point to the leftists that you imagine are there? Do they follow you around at night? Do they keep you awake? Do you lie awake in bed thinking about them? Okay, so what the expectation is that we will defend the Constitution against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Yes, not political opponents, but real enemies. Yes, Marxists are our enemies. Marxism is a political ideology, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that political opponents. Oh, he's really bad at comprehending who is what and why and where. He's misusing the word political, as always. Every conservative everywhere misuses the word political in any way that they see fit. Anything they don't like is political. Anything they do like but you are against is political. Anytime they disagree with somebody, it's political if they want it to be. If they don't want something to be political, then it won't be. If you tell them to stop being an asshole, you're being political. It's just a mess. Marxism is a political ideology. So, not political opponents, but real enemies. He's going to protect the Constitution against Marxists, but not political opponents. But they are political opponents. But he doesn't even know what he's saying. He's just putting words in an order. He added the next paragraph that the left wants America to turn away from the Constitution. Let America's dynasty fade away. No, you misunderstand severely what progressive ideas are. Progressivism doesn't mean you abandon the country and destroy it. It means that you move forward rather than face backwards. He doesn't know how to do that. He can only look backward. Those who push DEI, CRT ideology are not only hypocrites and Marxists, but traitors. While regular citizens have First Amendment protections for bad ideas, military leaders who seek to retrain soldiers on those ideas are guilty of coercive violence against their neighbors. I don't think there are any military leaders pushing Marxism. I'm willing to bet there's not. Please, Pete, point to one and then describe it. I don't think you can. I think you are imagining these things. I think you are making all of this up to sound cool, which is exactly what a guy with your ideas would do. It's exactly what you would do. We'll get to that in a minute. The Constitution is our lodestar. Marxists hate the Constitution. DEI and CRT are Marxist philosophies. Therefore, DEI and CRT are enemies of our Constitution, domestic enemies. There's more of that nonsensical word salad. The Constitution is our lodestar. Okay, great. Marxists hate the Constitution. No, they don't. Have you ever met one? No. Have you ever spoken to one? No. Have you ever listened to what one has to say? No. You have imagined. You misunderstand what Marxism is. You have created a delusion in your own head about what it is, and now you are spreading fear about what they are. DEI and CRT are Marxist philosophies. No, they aren't. No, they're not. Marx was done. He's written all his stuff. If you build upon that, you can move up to your own philosophy. But DEI and CRT are just decency. Man, they really are. Be good to each other. Try to get along with each other. Comprehend how you could say something offensive and then learn not to do that. That's it. So if A is equals B and B equals C and C equals domestic enemies, he's doing that fallacy, or there's a fallacy. I can't remember which one. I don't remember them all. But he's doing that. Perhaps most notably in a book obsessed with fighting against perceived domestic enemies, Hegseth spent a considerable amount of time in The War on Warriors, criticizing the military's rules of engagement and modern international laws of warfare. More generally, military lawyers and limited rules of engagement, he posited, are the real reason America can't seem to take its gloves off and win a war. Jeez. Swallow some spit there. Hang on. All right. Speaking on his time in Iraq, for example, Hegseth recalled a judge, advocate general, or jagoff. He's so funny. You guys, he's hilarious. This guy's hilarious. He called a JAG officer a jagoff, telling his men that they were not allowed to fire on a hypothetical man carrying a rocket-propelled grenade launcher until the RPG becomes a threat. It must be pointed at you with the intent to fire, the lawyer said. And then Hegseth, man, if you see an enemy who you believe is a threat, you engage and destroy the threat. That's a bullshit rule that's going to get people killed. Our enemies should get bullets, not attorneys. The fact that we don't do what's necessary is the reason wars become endless. Modern wars never end because we won't finish them. What is necessary to win modern wars? The likely future defense secretary has an answer in a chapter called The Laws of War for Winners. For winners. Okay. If you want to be a loser, you can have different laws of war. That's fine. David Swenson says just China. Okay, that's a cool message. Thanks. Let's see. I think we just quoting Dr. Strangelove. Yeah, maybe. He's making things out. He's just saying cool words. He doesn't. None of it means anything. I really do think that Hegseth is just like tactical rules of warfare, engagement, handcuffs, tactical, monkey wrench, strong, America strong, Trump 2024. You know, it's just, he doesn't know what he's saying. These are just words that he's rolling together in a really weird way, and I don't know why. But let's keep reading. Let's go. The Laws of Wars for Winners. In it, Hegseth decried hopelessly outdated international laws, which he argued clash with ancient theories of proportionality and just war, particularly when groups like Al-Qaeda don't respect the Geneva Conventions. See, guys, listen. Al-Qaeda doesn't follow the rules. That means we shouldn't either. They're barbarians, and so we need to be barbarians too. No, man, we're better than them. You see, if you want to hold the moral high ground, you have to have fucking morals, Pete. If our warriors are forced to follow rules arbitrarily and asked to sacrifice more lives so that international tribunals feel better about themselves, aren't we just better off winning our wars according to our own rules? Who cares what other countries think? The question we have to ask ourselves, if we're forced to fight, are we going to fight to win? Or will we fight to make leftists feel good, which means not winning and fighting forever? Bro, the leftists don't want to go to war at all. Don't start the war. But if you have to do one, do it decently without doing a whole bunch of war crimes. And he's like, war crimes are necessary. I have to do war crimes or we can't win. Then don't go to war. In the same chapter, he took particular issue with 2023 update to the Department of Defense's Law for War Manual. The commanders and other decision makers must assume people are civilians if there's nothing indicating they are combatants. Writing, in short, that means our troops are going to have to hesitate every time they fire. Yes, Pete, we want them to be the good guys. Good guys only fire when they should. It's bad guys, brutes, barbarians who attack everything that moves, Pete. But you don't know that because you operate on the rule of cool. You just think that if you're more cool, you're going to win. And if these stupid pussy rules are going to get you not being cool, which means you'll lose. Our boys should not fight by rules written by dignified men in mahogany rooms 80 years ago. America should fight by its own rules, and we should fight to win or not go at all. Don't go at all. That's what the actual leftists would tell you. That's what the actual progressives would tell you. Don't go at all. That is exactly the right answer. He accidentally stumbles at the right answer, and then he's going to be like, well, how are we going to go to war? Well, you're not, dipshit. It's a bad thing. We don't want wars. We want fewer wars, not more. It sounds like a strongman Milsim point. Yeah, it does. He figured it out. Yeah, I know. He accidentally figured it out towards the end. Well, maybe we shouldn't just. Well, if I can't do war crimes, we just won't do a war. Great. Good job. Thank you. Obliteration. That is what he means when he says winning. The Afghanistan war was doomed from the start. It's been called the graveyard of empires, and I really do like that statement. The graveyard of empires is a name often associated with Afghanistan. It originates from the several historical examples of foreign powers having been unable to achieve military victory in Afghanistan. In the modern period, it includes the British Empire, the Soviet Union, and the United States, and Rome. Back in ancient fucking Rome, Alexander the Great couldn't fucking capture Afghanistan, and it bankrupted him. Then the British Empire tried to capture it, and they couldn't, and it bankrupted them. And then the Soviet Union tried to capture it, and they couldn't, and it bankrupted them. And now the United States tried to capture it, and we can't, and it bankrupted us. It's a fucking history here that you have to pay attention to. Historically, great powers have invaded Afghanistan without having been able to maintain stable long-term rule. Modern examples include the British Empire. The difficulty of conquering Afghanistan has been attributed to the problems that invaders face when confronting the hazardous mountain terrain, desert conditions, severe winters, guerrilla warfare, fortress-like qualets. Enduring clan loyalties, empires often begin in conflict with each other while simultaneously attempting to subdue Afghanistan, and complications caused by interactions with Afghanistan's neighboring countries, such as coordinating relations with Pakistan, where fighters in Afghanistan have sometimes located the sanctuaries. So yeah, this was the issue we had with bin Laden as well, is that he ran through a very porous border. There's no wall between Afghanistan and Pakistan. And then George Bush, like an idiot, paid the Pakistan government billions of dollars to find him. And they didn't find him. So you know what happened next year? We gave them billions more. And then you know what happened the year after that? They didn't find him. And so we gave them billions more. They're incentivized not to find him at that point. This is idiotic. Don't do that. That's dumb. George W. Bush, that was a bad idea. So George Bush started that war in 2001, got distracted, confused, and tricked into invading Iraq too. And then we just kind of muddled on with Afghanistan. There were no goals set for victory, no plans on when to stop, no idea of what criteria must be met to allow us to leave successfully. So we just kept doing war for 20 years. Drone striking today, whoever shot at us yesterday. Forever. No one had the balls to quit because quitting would look like a loss, and no one wanted to be held responsible for a loss. If Bush had quit, it would have looked like a loss. If Obama had quit, it would have looked like a loss. If Trump had quit, it would have looked like a loss. Biden did quit, and it looks like a loss. Donald Trump brags about being the anti-war president, but he continued the Afghanistan war while he was in office. Conservatives tend to forget that, and I don't know why. And he would still continue it to this day if Biden had not taken the political hit and the social damage of ending it. When Pete here talks about winning, he's not talking about leaving peacefully after having settled our differences and come to a series of diplomatic solutions, giving leeway for transgressions and earning trust with concessions. God, no, that's nerd shit. He means obliterating the enemy and anyone near them. Indiscriminate carpet bombing, unmitigated destruction. And if you are not on board for that, it's because you're woke. If you don't support the bombing of infrastructure and hospitals, you're a wokey conducting the war on the warriors. If you try to use international law to prevent violence, you're a libtarded cuck getting in the way of the mission to protect middle America from ISIS. If you think that killing civilians makes you the bad guy, you're a blue-haired Marxist committed to the death of apple pie. Pete is not a forward-facing individual. He is unironically used the word hoplite a minute ago. He has that Deus Vult tattoo that I think is a Nazi symbol, but he claims it's because he loves the Crusades so much. He looks to the past to determine what we should do today. He is part of a backward-facing ideology. And if he gets his way, he will drag us backward to trench warfare fought over land and resources, rationalized by religion. That is what he will bring us, a new holy war. If he stood on an aircraft carrier with a mission accomplished banner. Yeah. And then we kept fighting for 5 more years, at least. I'm like, well, what are you doing? I thought it was mission accomplished, guy. What do you doing to me? So, that was my rant about him. Let's see, what else is going on in the news today? What do we got? I'm going to close that. We can watch him. Here, look. Where'd he go? There he is. Let's listen to him complain that American soldiers get in trouble for killing civilians. What a bunch of lib-cuck bullshit.
You've got to do it along all 3 levels. I mean, tactically, first of all, you have to untie the hands of warfighters, get the lawyers off the front lines or off the backs of guys. There's always going to be Army lawyers. I get it. But they need to be defending our troops more than trying to prosecute them and creating all these complicated laws that say, even in a civilian environment, in a complex neighborhood, if you kill one civilian, you're the bad guy. You can't fight in a war that way.
If you kill a civilian, you're the bad guy all of a sudden. Oh. Yeah, he's going to get us into a holy war. He really is. The NG123, not going to lie, tort contest at my house. You're invited. Well, I appreciate that. I'm going to have to pass, though. I'm already like in my comfy clothes, my home clothes, and then after stream, I usually just go to bed. Thanks for the invite, though. It feels good to be invited to the tort contest. It really does. Thank you. So yeah, Pete is awful, and he's going to get us into a damn holy war. Where do I pick up my trophy? Yeah, I know, right? What's the who? It's a contest. What does the winner get? What does the winner get? It's KBP would win. I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm not working with a lot back here. You know what I mean? I got the white boy butt. That's it's sad. It's a sad butt. It really is. Anywho, what else is happening in the news? Let's look at the next story. There he is. He can go away. Bad guy. Yeah, I know. What are we doing? Oh, hey, this guy might watch my stream. I might have a viewer in Salt Lake City. This is a letter to the editor. Civility gets us nowhere. It's time for the kumbaya era of the left to end. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, get some. I agree. That's what I ranted about a couple of weeks ago. My parents and a friend of theirs were discussing a topic that came up in general conference talk about civility. They all agreed that that's what the world needs more of, that everyone should have a voice at the table. I disrespectfully disagree. Because civility is why a convicted felon and rapist is at the height of power again. We need more hatred. We need to shut down the both-siderism nonsense. One side wants to limit the ability to vote based on outdated concepts of morality. One side wants to deport anyone who doesn't have the right, read white, skin color. One side slanders the military and prevents those who have served from getting treated for the damage they received while on active duty. We need to hate their ideology and call them out for being anti-democratic. We need to hate that they don't want women to receive the care they deserve. We need to hate the blatant corruption and cronyism that's already happening. Civility gets us nowhere. It's time for the kumbaya era of left to end. After all, there are 10 people at the table and one of them is a Nazi. Then you have 10 Nazis at the table. This is a very old saying that what they're suggesting here is if you have one Nazi at the table and you allow it, well, then there's just 10 Nazis at the table, not one. Allowing Nazis to exist is harmful. I'm not suggesting murder them all, but I am suggesting don't normalize their behavior. Do not accept the idea. Do not let them sneak in to debates when they complain about civility. And we need more hatred. I love that idea. I said that as well a couple of weeks ago. And this guy, the Salt Lake Tribune, Jacob Hansey from Layton, wrote that to the editor, and I liked it. Made me happy. Let's see. Trump's campaign donor picked to lead Navy is least experienced nominee in years. No shit. Only 6 men in the total 26 that have assumed the role of Navy Secretary over the past 70 years were not veterans. So this guy, entirely unqualified. And I'm going to say it. He's a DEI hire. He is. He's been hired because of his skin color. You can't allow that, Republicans. You can't allow this. This is unacceptable. He is a DEI hire. He's filling a quota of white dudes. And this is unacceptable. You cannot allow this. Can't believe we didn't get someone who has actual merit. We're skipping over very qualified people to make sure this guy gets the job. And that's no good. You keep telling me that that's what happens on the left, and it doesn't. But you're doing it right here. You're just giving the job to the guy who paid you the most money. That's not how the system is supposed to work, but it is now that Donald Trump, the criminal, is in charge. That's just how we have to deal with it. Let's look at Mexico. They said Mexico suggests it would impose its own tariffs to retaliate against any Trump tariffs. Exactly why you don't want to do that. Tariff law. There aren't no tariffs right now. There are quite a few. There are thousands of tariffs within our system right now for each country in different places for different reasons, and it's incredibly complicated. It is very difficult. There are thousands of different laws that have to be adjudicated properly. Donald Trump doesn't do nuance, y'all. He does not do nuance. No. Everything's 1,000 or it's 0. There is no middle of the road. There is black. There is white. There is no nuance. There is no such thing as gray. It's either maximum pain for tariffs or 0 tariffs. There's no, in this situation, we get a little bit, and in this situation we have 1%, and on this situation, if it comes from this place and it's made of this material, it's actually 25% rather than 20. God, no. That is all out the fucking window, because they don't deal in nuance. They don't deal in little bits. They don't comprehend the idea of doing just the amount that ought to be done. They're all or nothing kind of ideology that Trump has. So what we're going to get is a giant trade war that everyone will suffer from. Everybody will suffer. This is not going to go well for you. It's not going to go well for Mexico. It's not going to go well for any country in the world. The price of everything will go up, and the people who don't know what tariffs are in charge. Here's Donald Trump's son saying stupid things on TV.
Tweet. You want to allow drugs to come through our southern border? We're going to tariff you. You want to allow them to come through Canada? We're going to tariff you. China, if you're going to allow this stuff to get sold in our country, largely produced in China, we're going to add another 10% to your tariff. We are going to cost your countries, your economies, we're going to cost your businesses billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. If you think you're going to poison Americans, it's not going to happen. You're not going to destroy our youth. You're not going to destroy our society. You're not going to destroy our families. You're not going to do it. It's going to cost you. I'm going to put an end to it. Laura, when my father sent that 20 minutes ago, I literally cheered out loud.
Over here on the left, you can see Nazi Barbie. She has a pretty good poker face. I don't know if she's turned on by this or she knows that what he's saying is complete and utter lunacy. But it doesn't matter. She gets what she wants anyway. She's the important person. Nazi Barbie there. Laura Ingraham. There's a lot to unpack there. That kid, that guy, is a moron, right? Bobo the baby bark boy is barking it up. That guy is a moron. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He thinks that China pays the tariffs once we put the tariffs on. They don't. Everybody knows this now. Now everybody knows this. I wish they'd known it 3 fucking weeks ago. But now that we all know that, he still doesn't, and he still thinks that they are going to pay them. They're not. The drugs are coming officially from China. Like the country, Xi Jinping himself is packing up that fentanyl and sending it to Mexico. And then the president of Mexico is packaging it up and giving it to her citizens and saying, listen, you need to take this in there. You need to take this fentanyl and you need to cross that border. And then you need to cram it down the face of the first fat American you find. He doesn't understand how tariffs work. So he has created a delusion, and he is spreading fear. MDF every single time. He doesn't understand how fentanyl gets here, but he has created a delusion and spreading the fear about it. He doesn't understand why people want the fentanyl, but he creates a delusion in his own head about you just walking down the street and bam, you got hit with a fentanyl and now you're dead. It must be a busy bee down there. Yeah, it's a busy place down there in Mexico. Apparently you have to get all this fentanyl from China and then package it up and give it to your citizens and then have them to bring it across. Or maybe, just maybe, the Americans love drugs. We do. We always have. Americans want that fentanyl. Why do you think it's coming here? It's just showing up and just sitting around and doing nothing. No, we are demanding it. The American people are demanding more drugs. And it's true the drug cartels are now killing their own fentanyl manufacturers because they don't want trouble with Trump. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But the American people want it. And if they want it and it becomes expensive and they want to get it, they will start paying for it. You know, they'll find somewhere to get it. Usually, I recognize that you can shut down a black market if you really crack down on them, but that usually just ends up with a black market popping up somewhere else. Not saying it's impossible. Maybe they do really destroy all of that stuff, but it would cost so much money and so much manpower, and it would involve invading another country, which would not go well for us, I think. But yeah, the Americans want those drugs. They like them. Nobody's walking down the street, minding their own business, accidentally getting hit with fentanyl, and then becoming addicted to it. They seek it out. They ask for it. They want it. Why? Because sometimes it sucks to be a human. Sometimes it's miserable. Sometimes you're in pain. Sometimes you don't like what's going on. Sometimes you got addicted to opioids because it made your doctor money and you need something else to fill that gap. That happens. I'm not saying that that's a good thing or there's a thing that we should worry about, but it is something that we could deal with. And like I said a minute ago, the conservatives, Trump especially, isn't interested in nuance. They don't deal with things appropriately with small steps of intervention that cause positive actions, which then leads more people to take more positive steps that leads to positive action 10 years down the road. No. God, no. That's nerd shit. They need action now. They need to invade Mexico. They need to drop bombs on all these fentanyl people. They need to create gigantic tariffs that China's going to pay and blame the entire country. All, billion of them? How many Chinese people are there? 1 billion? All of them. It's their fault that fentanyl is in America. The way they say China did it, like it's one fucking person. You realize that the people moving that stuff from China to Mexico, north of the border, aren't officially doing it because they're doing it illegally. It is a trade. It is a thing that they are doing clandestinely, secretly, under the table, so no one catches them. If we could catch them, it would have stopped already. But holding their entire manufacturing industry responsible for something their criminals did doesn't make any fucking sense. Honestly, would you hold Ford Motor Company responsible for guns being manufactured in Texas and smuggled south of the border? Now, what if the president of Mexico came on TV and said in Spanish, I don't speak Spanish though, we are creating a tariff against America, the entire fucking thing, because some guns got manufactured in Texas and then brought into Mexico. So you're going to put a tariff on Ford. You're going to put a tariff on, I don't know, what do we make in America? Internet. You're going to put a tariff on anything made in America that goes south. because some criminals stole some guns and brought them across the border. You're going to challenge and disrupt the entire economy because of that. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Exactly. That this doesn't make any sense either. This was the same group that thought 4chan was a person. Yeah, exactly. It's the hacker known as 4chan. Very dangerous hacker, that 4chan guy. But yeah, that's the thing that's bothering me is that they're so stupid. They don't know how stupid they are. This guy, which Trump is that? Is that Eric? That's Eric. Yeah, he's a moron. Doesn't know what's happening, why it's happening, or what to do about it. But he gets to be in the White House every fucking day, determining the laws that affect your life. The society that you have to live in are now decided, and the direction my society has to go in is dictated by this damn idiot. That bothers me. That's why I think politics is important and fun and interesting and something to pay attention to, something that's worth paying attention to, because now the world will change based on his misunderstanding. I would prefer that if the world moved forward based on smart people making good decisions instead of dipshits making dipshit decisions. What else we got in the news tonight? Let's see. There we go. While we're thinking about dipshits, I got a few more for you. Here's some more dipshits. No. Well, okay, we'll do this one first. You're not going to believe what this guy says. Don't look at the screen yet. Don't look at it yet. Just listen to what he has to say.
I'll tell you something about heroin for me. I did very, very poorly in school until I started doing narcotics. Then I went to the top of my class because my mind was so restless and turbulent. And I could not sit still. I had no idea what was happening, and I was at the bottom of my class. I started doing heroin. I went to the top of my class. Suddenly I could sit still, and I could read, and I could concentrate. I could listen to what people were saying. And
there he is, everybody. Head of the DHS, pro-heroin. I didn't see that one coming. Nobody saw that surprise. That's a surprise. That's a twist. What a twist. I couldn't study, I couldn't read, I couldn't concentrate till I got some of that sweet, sweet heroin. What are the smack? No. What's the slang for heroin? I'm gonna Google this and get in fucking trouble. Well, you guys know the slang for it? Because I don't. Street names. Here we go. The American Addiction Center. Smack. So I was right. It was smack. Is this real low heroin healthcare? Yeah, that's what's happening. He's gonna force your kids off of their Ritalin and force them on to heroin, decriminalizing black tar and company. Yeah. He couldn't read. He couldn't pay attention. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't get anything right until he got some of that sweet, sweet smack. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of that delicious, delicious skag. Oh, God, he's dumb. And he's in charge of our healthcare. It's going to be amazing. You're not going to be able to get measles immunization, but you are going to get some of that black tar. It's going to be great. Your kids are going to be like, hey, can I have a flu shot? And they're going to be like, nah, man, you need some of that brown. Oh, some of that gack. Oh. He's just so dumb. Some of that H. No, you can't have a measles immunization, but you can have some skag. Okay, now I have to close the window. It said if you have, I got a pop-up that was like telling me if you have problems with drugs, please call this 800 number. Okay, we're closing that one off. Don't kill me, YouTube. Don't boot me off. Am I still on YouTube? I don't know what the rules are for funny slang words for drugs. But okay, we're still on YouTube. YouTube is still okay. We're all right. God, I want to listen to that again. We're listening to that again. Here we go. Because I didn't think this is amazing.
I'll tell you something about heroin for me. I did very, very poorly in school until I started doing narcotics. Then I went to the top of my class because my mind was so restless and turbulent. And I could not sit still. I had no idea what was happening, and I was at the bottom of my class. I started doing heroin. I went to the top of my class. Suddenly I could sit still, and I could read, and I could concentrate. I could listen to what people were saying, and things.
Okay, that I don't know what. Yeah, should I? I'll type that into Google next. It's gonna die of polio, but high as a kite on heroin. So you won't mind. Maybe you won't care about the polio. Maybe you won't care about the rickets. Maybe you won't care that you're dying from 17th century disease like milk leg or I don't know, black lung or some shit. If you're just high on H. God, it's going to be so much fun, you guys. The country's going to fall apart, and most of us are going to die, but it's going to be fun. A Turbulent Mind starring RFK coming this spring. That's a Turbulent Mind starring the true story of RFK Jr. coming this spring in a world where you couldn't study properly. RFK Jr. finds the solution. But the man is holding him down. They won't let him have his solution. Don't they know? Skag helps you learn. Oh, God. It's going to be so much fun and horror and terrible. And lots of people are going to die. But maybe we can just keep laughing. Maybe we'll just keep giggling the whole time. Let's see what else we got. So that happened, and I loved it. Well, okay, here we go. GOP senator introduces bill to abolish the education department, echoing Trump's campaign vow. So a Republican senator introduced legislation this week to eliminate the U.S. Department of Education, echoing a campaign promise of Donald Trump. The Returning Education to Our States Act was proposed Thursday by Mike Rounds. Under the legislation, the existing education department would be abolished and its critical federal programs would be redistributed to other departments. So the same things would still happen. It would just be done by somebody else. This is the weak-ass, half-assed solution they have. The press release notes that the U.S. Department of the Interior, the Treasury, the Health and Human Services, the Department of Labor, and the Department of State would be eligible to receive the redirect programs under the bill. So all the things that the education does would go to these guys. The Federal Department of Education has never educated a single student, and it's long past time to end this bureaucratic department that causes more harm than good. Senator Rounds said in a statement, "That's stupid. You're an idiot." Local school boards and state departments of education know best what their students need, not unelected bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. I disagree completely. The senator in the release argued that low recent standard test scores are evidence that the Department of Education's ineffectiveness. The average math and reading score for 13-year-old students dropped last year to their lowest levels in decades, falling by 9 points and 4 points respectively between 2020 and 2023 because of COVID, you dipshit. For years, I've worked towards removing the Federal Department of Education. I'm pleased that President-elect Trump shares this vision. I'm excited to work with him. Republican majorities in the Senate and House make this a reality. This legislation is a roadmap to eliminating the Federal Department of Education by practically rehoming these federal programs in the departments where they belong, which will be critical as we move. So he's just going to have somebody else do it. That's worthless. That is accomplishing nothing. Trump and his campaign thing. Let me be clear. This is not a partisan issue. I'm going to agree with him here. This isn't a partisan issue. This is an intellect issue. The lower your intellect, the more likely you are to call for the elimination of the Department of Education. The reason it seems like a partisan issue is because most Republican officials are lacking intellect. They feel like education They feel like more education moves people to the left, and they're correct because it does. Yes, all politics are based on feelings, and sometimes those feelings are correct. The educated scientists have already proven this as well. In his gut, Mike Rounds here feels like more education means fewer Republican votes, and I agree with him. He sees this as a bad thing. I don't. That's where we differ. I see a future where people are educated and abandon the faith and traditions of the past, moving forward, progressing into a better world every year. This senator is terrified because all of his power that he has built up is based upon faith and tradition, and I would abandon it. Tony, hey, how you doing? Marxists do hate the Constitution? Nonsense. I love the Constitution. It's fantastic. It's the conservatives that want to dump everything after the 10th Amendment. Tills be like the opposite timeline of abused mind with Russell Crowe. Yeah. Marxists are trying to get rid of the first and second. No, they're not. The Second Amendment is badly written, but I'm okay with it. And they're not trying to get rid of the First Amendment, Tony. You're out of your mind. They love the First Amendment, and the people who lie to you every day have told you that, and you believe them because you want to. Be serious, Tony. I don't praise the gaslighting stream title, but you missed the fun part where I was reading about Marxists. It's not a gaslighting stream title. I like the First Amendment. Listen, Tony, listen. I'm a Marxist. The Constitution is good and great, and we should follow it. The Second Amendment is a poorly written thing, but we can come to a middle-of-the-road agreement on what is and isn't allowed. Using laws and common sense and intelligence and debate and discussion, we can come to an agreement on that. He wants to overload other departments. Yeah, exactly. The more overloaded the departments are, the more they can say that those departments are failing. Exactly. And then they get to cancel those, they get to crush those, they get to throw all those out. Have you ever read Marx Beyond the Commie Manifesto? Capital's too long. I haven't read Capital. I've read some descriptions of what is in Capital. It's 7,000 pages long or something. It's crazy long. So I have read understandings of what is in Capital. And I've watched people talk about it and understand what it. I think I understand what they're going for, and it all boils down to the basic tenet, which is to each their need, from each of their ability. That really comes down to that. Okay, you have some cursory understanding. Yes, I do. I have some cursory understanding, and it seems like a great idea. Do you have a better understanding of it than I do? I don't think you do. Did you read the Communist Manifesto, which is like a pamphlet? It's very short. That'd be like if I said I read Shakespeare when I only watched the YouTube video about him or something. Great. Yes, you can watch. Boss, what do you not get about this? That's how all education works. That's how all education works. Did you sit and watch the entire Second World War with your own eyes? No. Someone documented it, edited it, put it into a textbook, then you learned about it. That's how everything works, Tony. It's how literally everything works. You haven't dived deep enough. Clearly, you haven't gotten to the crazier shit Marx espoused. Like what? I have a Google right here. It's open. It's wide open. Google, ready to roll. What crazy deep dive thing happened that I don't know about? The American blacks, Marxism. We can look it up on the Wikipedia. Here we go. Oh, he was born in 1919 or something like that. Of course he was racist. I'm not saying he wasn't. He probably was. And I can do better than that. So let's take his good ideas, strip the racist bad ideas, move forward. Your grandpa was racist, wasn't he, Tony? But are you less racist than your grandpa? I bet you are. I'm less racist than my grandpa. Was my grandkids going to be less racist than me? Entirely possible. That's called progress. We're a big fan around here. Do not wiki lol. Let's look up his own words on it. Wikipedia is just fine. The fact that you hate Wikipedia, Tony, tells me a lot about you. You have been tricked. You have been lied to. You have been deceived by people who don't want you to know things. You have been duped by people who want to keep you stupid. Part of that keeping you stupid is telling you not to trust what you read on Wikipedia. Marxism is a political philosophy and method of socioeconomic analyses. It uses a dialectic and materialism interpretation of historical development. So this is the important bit, the materialistic part, better known as historic materialism, to analyze class relations, social conflict, and social transformation. Marxism originates with the work of 19th century German philosopher Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Marxism has developed over time into various branches of schools of thought. So it progresses, you see. And as a result, there is no single definitive Marxist theory. Marxism has a profound effect on shaping the modern world, with various left-wing and far-left political movements taking inspiration from it in varying local contexts. Do your own research, Waldo. I know, but not on Wikipedia. I have to do my research on the things that Tony wants me to do it. I think going to the source is better than Wikipedia, but I've only graduated college and written term papers, so what do I know? Dude, why are you reading this in the first place? You look up what Marx said. Why are you reading some basic summary? The basic summary is enough for a stream, Tony. If I want to write a giant theoretical research paper about him, then I will go and cite the sources. Do you think that's what I'm doing here online right now? Writing academic coursework. Wikipedia is distilled it all down so that we can read it and understand it and have a good time with you. I give you an F. Great. I'm not in school. I'm not in a classroom right now. I appreciate the plus for Thanksgiving. Thank you. I am cooking a turkey right now. No, not cooking a turkey. I dry brined it earlier today, and it's sitting in the fridge right now, becoming salty so that I can cook it tomorrow. And then I'm going to make some pies. But you're not going to the shit sites Tony wants you to go to, so it's not doing your own research. Yeah, I know. I didn't go to YouTube and watch the things. Or I didn't go to Conservapedia. Is Conservapedia still up? I wonder what... Let's look at Conservapedia. I wonder if that still exists. I know it used to, but I don't know if it still does. Conservapedia. Hey, there it is. Conservapedia. Here we go. Can I search? Search. Conservapedia. Wait. It stopped working. I don't think it's functioning. Conserva what? Dude, stop being an asshole just because you're simpletons in your chat say some bullshit. This is Conservapedia. I didn't make this up. It's Wikipedia for conservative people, Tony. I didn't make it. Somebody else did. But it's... Okay, Marxism. There we go. Marxism. Oh, see, we're on Conservapedia. Marxism is often used as a synonym for communism. It is a belief in government-mandated equality, where everyone will put less wealth than under free enterprise, and where shortages are rampant. Marxism began as a revolutionary movement developed by Karl Marx. Can you guys read this? I need to make it larger. A phony German-born scholar and activist liberator with Friedrich Engels. Marx's approach is indicated to the opening line of the Communist Manifesto. The history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles. That's a true statement. They're saying that it's not, but it's awesome. Okay, so Tony, you're not coming at it from this angle. Great. Okay. Marx believed that capitalism, like previous socioeconomic systems, would produce internal tensions. When has capitalism ever caused an internal tension, which would lead to its destruction? Just as capitalism supposedly replaced feudalism, it did. Capitalism itself would be replaced by socialism, not communism. See, these guys are all wrong. A classless society that would emerge after a transitional period in which the state would be nothing else but the revolutionary dictatorship of the proletariat. I have to read this in Alex Jones's voice. Marxism. Marxists are said to await the revolution with a religious fervor reminiscent of Christians awaiting the rapture. Okay, so that was Conservapedia. Okay, I'm glad we can agree on that, Tony. That was dumb. But what was the point I was trying to get to? That you can call something anything you want. You can make up stories. You can say that you can point to just the good things. I would point to just the good things that Marx did. And if he actually did do some bad race stuff, I would not point to it as something that I would want to do. I might gloss over it. And you can criticize me for that. If he was out there lynching slaves, I would be upset with that. That doesn't mean we have to take away his good ideas. I mean, that ideology, that idea, that thought process of holding people responsible today for what people did in the past, conservatives don't like that either. I mean, what if your ancestors owned slaves? Are you responsible for that? No, I don't think you are. I'm not responsible for any racist thing that Marx did. So I can take his good ideas and I can work with them. Also, he did kind of complain about the classes and the fact that race would divide the classes. It's often that a rich person will divide the poor people based on race and make them fight each other instead of fighting the rich guy. Very common thing that he did, I think, complain about, but I just read that on a back of a napkin. So I'm not entirely sure if it's true. So yeah, very fun, very good stuff today. Roche Salad, what's your thought on immigration? Well, I think it's good for us. Given Marxism's track record, why should I trust you guys to get it right this time? Its track record is slightly untested, Tony. The Leninism, which often is conflated, is Marxism-Leninism. I'm not a Leninist. Marx is good, Lenin is shit. He did a bad job. He ran and Lenin got famous promising good things for the working class, promising good things for the proletariat, promising that he would remake the state in the image of the people, of the proletariat, for the people, of the people, by the people. But once he got in charge, he made it about himself. Just like a lot of dictators do. They say the populism out loud when they're running, when they're trying to get people to support them. And then when they get in charge, they say, okay, no, that's over. I'm in charge now. Everybody does what I say, and I'm the complete dictatorial authoritarian. That's what I think that Lenin did. The Marxist experiment was run multiple times in multiple countries, not looking so hot. Name one. Given that history, it seems tested or not true Marxism. Where did they try it? They tried it in Russia with Lenin, and he stopped being a Marxist, started being a Leninist. Roach Salad, I think that immigration is good for us, and it will help us. It helps our economy. It makes us better. It makes us stronger. And the people who come here are just trying to earn a living in the greatest country in the world. Conservatives often say that this is the greatest country in the world. They get tattoos of flags on their bodies. They have giant red, white, and blue stickers on their trucks, and they fly American flags off the bed of their truck. Seems like a shit idea to talk about how great the country is and then say, no, you can't come here. Seems like a bad idea. Waldo, you dummy law. That's how politics is. You understand that politics is the business of overpromising. Only bad politics. Yeah, no shit, they claimed and didn't deliver, because that's how all of it works. You don't have to do that. Is that what Donald Trump has done? Did he overpromise? I think he did, because he's a bad politician. Kamala underpromised, and she failed. I dig that. I recognize that promising people more than you can actually deliver is a bad idea. Every politician ever has done that. They don't even have to be commies. And I think you're right. And that is part of the problem. That is a problem. Politicians promising you 1,000 things and one of them comes true. That's a shit system. Why are people dumb? Why do people fall for this? How can we make people better? I would suggest we educate them. We're going to need a Department of Education for that. And we're going to need them on Wikipedia. Lol, Marxism is gay, bro. I mean, sometimes. It is sometimes. But that's a good idea, if you ask me. That's fine. You're allowed to be. Balsanya69, you're allowed to be as gay as you want. I completely support you in as much gay stuff as you want. You can. It's a free country. I like that freedom. That's a good thing. I like freedom, you see. Let's see. I think that was about it for the news tonight. If you want to tell me what to talk about, you can do that in the Discord. Discord, right there. So that's the Discord. Right now, what am I going to do? I'm going to start up a video game, and we're going to play a game for a few minutes while I read chat and you talk to me and yell at me. You can maybe put TTS into chat, and maybe the robot will read it. But maybe not, because she stops working every now and then. But I'm going to start up a video game. Feel free to hit me up with any question you have, any idea, any political stuff, anything that you want, anything you're talking about, anything. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. Hop in there. Tell me why Kamala lost. Tell me why Trump won. Tell me anything you like. Thanks for coming, KBP. Have a good night. That poor bastard.
Maybe robot will read it.
She will read it very, very slowly, apparently. There's the robot. She is very much behind. Where's my Steam? There's my Steam. And we're going to hit Halls of Torment and hit play. 20 minutes later. Yeah, I know. She's very slow, and I don't know why. I'm never going to get it fixed and functioning. Really, really don't think it'll never function. And that's sad. Oh, let's see. Got the game up and running. It's starting up. So, yeah, hit me up. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. Go to the Discord. You can leave a link there. You can tell me what to talk about. You can see pictures of the very cute puppy dog. He is there all, and then you can Photoshop those photos. It's very fun. A lot of people go there just for the puppy dog. It's a trick. I just trick people. But Tony.
Happy Thanksgiving.
There we go, KBP. Thank you. Tony, I think you're right that most politicians do promise things like that. I don't like that they do that. Oh yeah, my cleric failed. I would prefer they not do that. I would prefer they are actually honest. But honesty is boring. Belief is more powerful than honesty. Bullshit is delicious, and reality tastes like shit. So that politician that you're talking about, who's lying to the people, is lying to the people to get power. I wish we could move beyond that. How do we convince people not to believe the bullshit? I think the only way to do that is to radically change the way we operate. Our brains within the country. Stop believing things. Belief is a failure. Belief is a... Belief is a weakness. Stop having beliefs. They're bad for you. Where did that go? There we go. Let me turn on the game capture. Boop. There it is. You need that streamer money to buy a robot non-potato PC to talk about. Maybe. I think it might be the PC at this point, because it moves a lot faster when I'm not actually streaming, because I'm uploading and downloading and moving all of the bits and the up and down at the same time. I think the robot gets laggy. Or we can like lower taxes and stop getting involved in other countries' affairs, but I'm just spitballing here. Lowering taxes for who? Everybody. Donald Trump's not doing that either. He's starting up tariffs. Tariffs are a tax. Donald Trump's going to gigantic tax hikes. He's already promised gigantic tax hikes, paid for by the consumers. Everything is about to get more expensive because of his tariffs. Stop getting involved in other countries' affairs. I can almost appreciate that. Tariffs are good in the long run. No, Tony, they're not. They're a gigantic tax on everything, according to him. We already have thousands of taxes, thousands of tariff laws and rules in place. I recognize that. We have lots and lots and lots of them. Hundreds of, maybe even thousands of pages in the government right now. Actual past functioning laws about tariffs. We have that right now. Will he do smart, calm, nuanced changes to those? No. He's going to say this country gets this big giant tariff, and it's because of fentanyl. Fentanyl is why we need a giant tariff on Mexico. He's just going to putz it up. He's just going to doof it up in the worst ways. It's not going to make any sense. It's not going to have any rhyme. It's not going to have any reason. It's not going to have any logic behind it. The laws and the numbers are just going to be things he makes up because they sound good. The left hates tariffs because they don't want America to rebuild its industry. Right, I don't want it to. Rebuild industry equals more working class jobs, which more Trump supporters. We are beyond factories and working class jobs, Tony. We have moved beyond it. We are never going to get back to the 1950s where Americans worked in a factory making cars and stuff like that, and then retiring, working in the same factory for 50 years, or for 20, 30 years, and then retiring and getting a gold watch. That is never coming back. There's only one reason it happens to begin with, and that is because everything in Europe and Asia in the 1930s that looked like a factory got bombed. That's the only reason that America was the manufacturing superpower that it was back then. That's not coming back unless we bomb all of the factories in Europe and Asia, which sounds like a hell of an undertaking, and I don't want that to happen. So, I don't want those. Yeah. That's where you're wrong. Trump won. The deportations will begin. The factories and the jobs will be brought back. Bye-bye globalism. You're out of your mind. Tony, listen, you just told me that politicians all lie and promise things that can't happen. Those are the things that won't happen. The deportations will begin, I think, maybe, at maximum. We get 1 million people deported. That's it. And once they run out of scary criminals, and they will run out of scary-looking criminals, they'll start kicking down doors of people who live in the suburbs and look like your house. They'll be your neighbors and stuff like that, my neighbors, and then the American people will get sick of seeing it and tell him to stop, and then they will stop. It's Trump Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Let's wait and see. I will be here, and I'll be waiting, and I will be seeing. Then, when they run out of scary-looking people, the news will be have drones flying over the concentration camps, showing you all the sad people there. The CNN will get one photo of a normal-looking guy dragged out of his house, and his kids left screaming and crying, and they'll tell him to stop. And then the will be gone, and they won't do it anymore. So this 20, 30 million deportation is one of those promises. It's not going to happen. I don't even know if we get started. What else was there? Factory jobs? That's not happening. My guy, that is just not happening. Factory jobs are not coming back to America. If you are banking on that, you are mistaken. Factory jobs are not coming back to America. The business leaders will not let him run those tariffs properly. And any big businessman who is harmed by those tariffs is going to kiss his ass so that he will remove the tariffs. This is the scam. Donald Trump is going to threaten the tariffs. Then the leader, the head, the CEO or whatever of that company is going to be like, God, this hurts my bottom line. Hey, Mr. Trump, is there anything you can do to not put those tariffs on my industry? And then he'll be like, yeah, say nice things about me. Meet me up on stage and talk about how great I am for business. Tell everybody, or pay me, or they could just pay him. I'm willing to bet that one would do it too. You should be begging. They come back. Well done. I think myself as a reasonable guy. The younger generation, they're turning hard right. If they don't have a stable income, will enjoy the show. They are somewhat further right than we had thought about. And I gave you grief about this, Tony. I really did. The youth are farther right than I had thought. You were more correct in this thing. I don't mind saying that. But they've been poisoned by bullshit social media. See, the greatest generation, they're all dead. The baby boomers were poisoned by Fox News, had their brains poisoned. The Generation X had their brains poisoned by lead. Then millennials are great, and everybody after millennials, the Gen Y and the Zoomers, have been poisoned by social media and Elon and shit like that. Like I said, you're willing to listen. The younger generation might not be as kind to the libtards in the next decade. Well, they can Are the kids who are super woke going to come and murder me for being woke? I don't think so. While they are supporting Donald Trump, I think it's because they don't pay attention to what's going on. I think they have been they have kind of been tricked. They haven't been tricked. They're not paying attention. Young people generally aren't watching the news. They're not watching the stream. They're not watching politics generally, unless they're fucking weirdos. And I was one of those weirdos, and I recognize that not everybody is a weird politics wonk. I dig that. I think once Donald Trump raises, after these, if these tariffs even happen, and they raise the price of everything, I think he makes a lot of enemies. A lot more people start to abandoning him. And then J.D. Vance doesn't have the TV star charisma to carry on the rest of the party. He'll talk about how great Trump is all day long, and that'll be boring to watch, and maybe nobody will vote for him. I don't know. I don't want any of these. Who's bringing those factory jobs back? The same greedy businessmen that sent him overseas? I think Shinsunoto's got a point here. If it's cheaper to have it manufactured in Bangladesh, why would they bring it back here? Gen Z isn't called Generation Zyklon for no reason. They're making Sigma Hitler edits on TikTok, reading the bell curve. Be afraid, Waldo. Be very afraid. Then I should be on line telling them not to be Nazis. What? You see them acting like Nazis, and you're like, yeah. Are you cheering for them? We should be talking them out of this, Tony. Together, as a team. You and me. Hand in hand. But no homo. Not in a gay way. Talk them out of being Nazis. No, I'm not cheering for Hitler, people. I know you're not. I didn't think that you were. But it seems like it was. You are. I hate totalitarianism in either end. And I agree with you. Great. I don't want a fake left-winger doing totalitarianism either. I haven't seen one, honestly. The furthest left person that we have in American politics is Bernie fucking Sanders, and he's no fucking totalitarian. Most of the people on the right, most of the working class, and those Gen Z people that you're talking about, appreciate Bernie. The Dems aren't Bernie. Bernie isn't a Dem. Dems are lame and boring, and all they want to do is stand completely still. Ratchet effect. The right pulls the country to the right, and then the Dems stand completely still, and then the right wins, and then they pull the country to the right, and then the Dems stand completely still. It's the ratchet effect. We don't go anywhere. We don't get anywhere. Well, we get to the right, but I'd rather not. What was I thinking about? The Dems are lame. Kamala's a worse pick than Bernie. I'd vote for AOC before I voted for Kamala, but she's not on the ballot. I have a very simple system. You might have heard me say it before, but during the primary, I vote for the person furthest to the left, and then during the general, I vote for the person furthest to the left. This time, that was Kamala. Are there people further to the left than her? Sure. Gen Z are so fried from social media, like physically their neuron receptors probably resemble an addict, so even if they're knee-deep in Nazi esoterica, you can probably shift their attention within a week with memes or something. Exactly. That's what I want to do. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm reaching out to them. Am I reaching out to them? Not really. That's why I'm on Twitch. Trying to convince them. I just need one to show up. But I'm kidding. I don't say Skibbity Ohio get often enough to get the Gen Zers. I'd have to rework my titles. Yeah. So if for next stream, that's my title, Skibbity Ohio Gat Riz. That's so that I can sneak these Gen Zs in here and tell them to stop being Nazis. I think that would work. I think that might work. And I think you're right. We'd have to change their mind with memes and jokes and ideas, because that's interesting. People are interested in those kinds of things. I mean, it's the joke that all the boomers got radicalized by Minion memes, right? Like, that's the joke. I don't know how true it is, but Kermit looking out a rainy window is telling you that about how great Trump is more persuasive to them than anything Waldo could say, apparently. That makes me sad, but I recognize it. I get it. Bullshit is delicious. Fiction is way more fun. You're more optimistic than I am. I think that we'll suffer some sort of a civilizational collapse, Fermi paradox, or whatever might be true. Whichever one postulates the theory that this is why we haven't found aliens. That the Type 4 civilization is what you're talking about, Tony, I think. The reason we haven't seen any aliens is because you have to get through the Type 3 civilization or something like that, and most people fail and kill themselves and destroy their entire civilization at Type 2 or Type 3 through wars or resource misallocation or just straight up racism. Yeah, I get what you're going here. You're coming with. Yeah, the Type 4 thing. Yeah. I recognize that situation, and I think we got a good chance. I don't think Donald Trump is going to destroy the country. I think that some people are going to be miserable. Some people are going to hurt. The weakest among us will be hurting even more than they usually do. The trans people are going to suffer. The gay people are going to suffer. The poor people are going to suffer. And if we do fall down some sort of collapse, I think it will be very much similar to the fall of the Soviet Union. You know, the everything of value in the old Soviet Union got grabbed up by the rich and the oligarchs. No, I think the issue is beyond whoever president is there for you. And I agree with you. The president isn't a king yet, and we don't know if Donald Trump's going to try and be a king. He kind of has that tendency, but maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. I've told you a million times I never exaggerate. But if we do collapse, it would look something like the Soviet Union, where all the government things get divvied up and broken apart and given to the richest among us, the oligarchs. And then those rich people would then kind of dictate how this thing operates. And they would be obscenely rich, wildly rich, and more powerful than they already are. Jeff Bezos would just get the mail. You know, he'd just get the U.S. Post Office, you know? It would just be his. And he would operate it however he thought that he should. And so yeah, that's kind of what happened in the Soviet Union. They broke apart all of their government stuff and gave it to the rich people, who were then called oligarchs, and then they ran it to benefit themselves, usually, mostly. Did they do some things for the people? Sure, but they also just did whatever they wanted to benefit themselves. The courts would change quite a bit and be more attached to money. You would just pay your judge, and if you want to get off from a crime, then you would just pay the judge. If the judge needs some more money this month, guess what? He's just going to start arresting people, and then the ones that can pay, and the ones that don't, go to jail. We're already leaning that direction, honestly. The fact that Donald Trump got away with all his crimes and just gets to keep being in charge suggests that if you just have enough money, you can control the Justice Department. And then anything that he doesn't like is political, and everything he does is acceptable. You know, it's wild. I don't like the way it's going. Lost my blood trail. Where's my blood trail? There it is. Following the blood trail. I mean, because that's how the Justice Department works in Russia now. If you pay the judge, he lets you off. That's it. They have some intermediaries and stuff like that, and then sometimes you have to pay the lawyer who pays the judge, but you have to pay the lawyer and the judge and the people. You just pay, and then you will get off even if you didn't do it. There's no evidence involved. It's just how much have you paid. And then there are grifters and criminals who will tell you that paying me will get you off of this crime, but then they're liars, you know. That happens too. And there's no way to do it properly. There's no way to properly maneuver through the Russian justice system, and I think we're headed that way, honestly. Waldo will get picked up and thrown into the gulag for the words that he said. And then when I get put in front of a judge, the judge will say that I'm guilty unless I can convince him otherwise. And the only way to do that is to, like, pay him off under the table and stuff like that. That's what I think is coming. And that's not because of the liberals. God, no. Liberals love the law. Honestly. They love that shit. They love rules, man. Liberals love rules. What's their biggest complaint about Donald Trump is that he breaks the rules. He's not doing the norms. He's not doing the things that they think he should be doing. He's not doing it properly. Liberals love rules and they love the law. Even if the law is ugly and bad and not functioning very well, they still love it. And if you don't love it, then you need to run for office and try and fix it. That's my blood trail again. That's why I do say that Marxists love the Constitution. I'm not saying that because they agree with it all the time. It's because they like the law. They like the rules. They like the order. They like the things that make for a society. Anti-law anarchy is not a left-wing ideology. Almost to Agony 3. Almost finished today's quest. Inch away. Peek after I kill. There we go. Agony 3. Alright. We got our quest done for today. Had to get to level 3 with this cleric. And I have. Exciting. So let's see what else is going on. What is today? Today is Wednesday. So I'll be back for a Saturday stream on Saturday. But then probably going to skip this next Monday. I might get home really late this coming Monday. So I might be streaming on Saturday, the normal time, but then Monday I might get home late, so I might not be able to stream on Monday, but then I should be back for Wednesday. And I'm definitely going to be back the Friday after that. So a week from Friday is Path of Exile early release. Early access? Yeah, early access. So I'll do that on Friday night. Probably all night Friday night. I might be up late Friday night. So if you're bored a week from Friday, not this coming Friday, but the Friday after, Friday, December the 6th, Come on by. I'll be on all night, assuming that the game runs and I can stream it at the same time. Had trouble with video games in the past being too new or too powerful for my build. I'll turn the numbers way down and I'll stream all night Friday night, but then I might have to stop streaming if it sucks until I get money enough to buy a better computer. But that doesn't happen unless I get lots more subscribers, you know? Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Let's see. Apply 400,000 debuffs. Okay, that's fun. Got 13 minutes left in this level, and then we'll fight the boss, and I'm pretty sure, I'm feeling pretty good about this run. I think we are going to kill this boss. But if you're watching, if you're paying attention, hop in the chat, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling. Ask me any old politics thing, and if I don't know the answer, I'll make something up. Are you going to play Path of Exile? What character are you going to play? I definitely always gravitate towards the Chain Lightning Witch, or the Sorceress this time. Not a witch, sorceress. So, yeah, Chain Lightning Sorceress. But I was watching the live stream the other day, and it looks kind of interesting. There's a Gemling Legionnaire that seems really interesting. And it could be, there could be a lot of things going on. Really weird, breaking the rules, changing the laws of the game for the Gemling Legionnaire. Seems kind of wild. And they get extra skills. I mean, that could be insane. Where would you put them? Do you get like extra spots on your bar? Well, you know what? In PoE 1, you have plenty. But what happens if you run out? I don't know. Can you load up extra hotkeys? I don't know. A bit of a mess. Maybe. Maybe I won't have enough buttons on my keyboard. Skellington. Boss die. He's still alive. Usually I kill him pretty quick. Summons. I saw how many summons. I'm killing this one. Never be shown again. Never be shown again. There we go. Thank you. Never be shown again. Get out of here. Nobody wants you. Electrified orbs. Ooh. Well, maybe I'm not going to make it to the boss. Making a few hits. 10 minutes to go. Pinpoint. Crit enemies 500,000 times. Oh my. So many crits. What is that? Oh, a bucket. Okay. I should go throw things in the well. Where did the well go? There it is. It's about time. 9 minutes left. I got time. Here I got a bottle I can toss in there. That's a lot of slimes. I really don't want to die right now. Damn. I got the quest done, even if I die. Man, this guy just doesn't pump out enough damage to kill everything. Maybe I picked the wrong skills. I don't love the glyphs on the ground. They kind of suck. There we go. What do we send? We're sending the bottle. And then whatever the hell that is. Do I have another? I already got all these. Yeah, we'll just wait. Forget something else. Oh, skeletons. Oh, skeletons. Those pink ones just pop up out of nowhere. They're part of a boss. There's a necromancer. There she is. Calling them up. Have to get rid of her. But she's not dying, so that's sad. Guess we're just gonna die. Guess I'll just die then. What are you? Burning base damage. Well, that is kind of nice. What would I have to lose? I have to drop off my holy relic. Ah, that's so good though. Skeletons, I guess. More skeleton ring. Oh, good. The necromancer's still alive. Great. Oh, she's almost dead, I think. I can just dodge those damn pink skeletons for a few more minutes. We got 6 minutes until the big boss shows up. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. Necromancer is dead. No more pink skeletons. Can't get to the box. There's too many people. Block boxing. Box blocking. What do we got? Ring of Frost. ice. I don't like that. Shadow cloak decay. Spawn shadow every 1.3 seconds. 50 damage. Fragile. Oh, okay. Slightly better than what I have. There we go. Orbs. Flame strike, sure. Oh, yeah. I don't think I'm getting out of this one. Oh, there's a gargoyle. Buff. Hooray. I might live for a few more seconds. Book. What do we want? We want everything splinters. Fire. Well, let's do the secret flame, yeah. If I stand still, I get hit by the fireballs. If I move, I die. Yep, we're dead. We gotta revive. 5 more minutes till the big boss. I don't think we're gonna make it. Big dead boss right there. That's nice. Four and a half minutes. Maybe we'll make it. It's a lot of levels. Swift feet, shit. Should have picked that one. Anybody doing anything fun for Thanksgiving tomorrow? I've got, I make pies and a turkey. I got my turkey brined in there, ready to go. Cooking it tomorrow. Then I make a pumpkin pie and a pecan pie. I love pumpkin pie. It's fantastic. And then we got 1,000 other things that we're cooking tomorrow, but those are the big ones. Pumpkin pie is the big one. You know? That's the good stuff. Not that big a fan of turkey. I cook it and I think I can do a good job with it, but I prefer a ham, you know, but everybody thinks I'm crazy eating ham on Thanksgiving. But we have a ham on Christmas, and I cook a ham on Christmas, and that's the way to go. With a maple syrup kind of glaze on it, yeah. All right, we're at 224 in full health, so I might actually make it. And just picked up 2 more buffs. Okay. It's going to help me run away for the next 2 minutes. Slime boss. Extra one too because of yellow. Got a minute to go. I might be able to pull this off. Can I kill the boss? I don't know. But I did get both pieces of the fragment thing, so I might be able to get it. Oh, there's some buffs. Nice. Kill this boss maybe. He's dead too. The slime boss down. 30 seconds to go. Come on. Oh, stuck on a rock. Stuck on a wall. Stuck on a rock. Okay. "15 seconds to go." What do we got? Damage, sure. Last little level up there. There's the boss. And if I'm fast enough, I can dodge it. If he starts getting up in my face, I get in trouble. Like that. Doing alright so far. And he's down. Phase 1 done. Phase 2, and he's going to take a big bit of damage. There it is. Pull him up a couple of times. I got this. Oh god, look at him. He's already dead. He's already dead. He's melting. Dead. Mwahaha. Take that, fool. Alright, we got our shard. Do I have anything to send up? No, I don't. Don't want to finish? Yes. So let's see how much damage those skeletons did. I'm curious. Skeleton ring did 1 million. And I dropped it after about 20 minutes. So how much what did I drop it for? I dropped it for the damage ring, so alright. Who did the most? Meteors, needles, good lord. 21 million from the needles, 21 million from the orbs, wow. 18 million from the armor. Man, that's a lot. 1 million from the spike boots. Okay, return to camp. And let's see what the next quest is going to be. Exterminator, reach Agony 3 in the Ember Grounds. Okay, so next quest is to go through that again with the Exterminator. That actually might be pretty easy, honestly. The Exterminator's a pretty good character. Not too difficult there. So that's it for me tonight. I appreciate everybody who's here. Thanks for coming in. If you're a new chatter, thank you very much. I'm going to maybe someday have TTS working. Maybe not. I don't know. You never know. I'm done for today. I will be back on Saturday unless the brown shirts kick in my door, unless the Gen Z super Nazis kick in my door and drag me off to the gulag. I will be back on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. West Coast, Best Coast time, PST. And I'll look at the news. If you got anything you want to tell me about, if you got anything that I should look at or talk about, hop into the Discord and tell me what to talk about. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what would be good to talk about on the news and the politics and all that fun stuff. Then I'll talk about it. We'll feel it all out together. It'll be a good time. That's it for me tonight. If you want to go over to the YouTube page, you can go over to YouTube. You can watch old videos that I've done. I take the best bits from this stream and turn it into videos and then put it on and then edit it out a little bit. edit out the uhs and the ums and the bad thinky brains that happen sometimes, and turn it into a more watchable video. Honestly, who are we kidding? It's more watchable, barely, but that's the plan. Go on over to YouTube, give it a like, a subscribe, break the thumb on the thumbs up button, smash the subscribe button, fondle the bell button, and stab someone in the comment section, because the YouTube algorithm is powered by hate. That is it for me tonight. Good night, and I'll see you on Saturday, probably.